Hello and welcome everyone. I'm going to show you how the index formula works in Excel. It's a very powerful formula. Now, if you have a look at the setup here, what I've got is a row reference running down the side. So we're going to have 5 rows and we're going to have 3 columns. And we're basically going to take this data over here to look up an index. And this particular range here, which I will encircle, is a index. That's the index that we're going to be using. And we're going to be looking up a row and a column reference. So the syntax for index is index, and then we're looking up our reference point, which is our range, and then there is a row and a column reference, and that is as simple as the formula is. That's all you've got to get in your head. The syntax is what's the cell that we're looking for, or what's the range where the cell lives. So where does it live? Our reference point, and this is our reference point. And then what is the row reference and the column reference, and these are interchangeable. We can use one or the other or both. Yeah. Now let me give you a practical example. In here we'll have the total, and let's look up North America and sports. So basically we want to return this number here. So I'll make this a different color. So we want to look that value up. So what we want to do is we want to say in cell H3 equals index. Yeah, so IN tab, just tab to shortcut the thing to its end. Now we'll say the whole index. So we'll say, okay, it starts in cell B3 and it goes all the way down to D7. We'll press F4 just for good practice to lock that range in. And then we'll say comma. Now the first part is the row part. So the first reference point. Now the rows are 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want the 4th row in that index. And then we type a comma. And what column do we want to return? Now, if we said 1, we'd return North America. If we said 2, we'd return sports. If we say 3, we get the numerical value at the end. So we'll say 3 and then press enter. Boom! We get 93, and that's the result that we're looking for because it's in the 4th row and the 3rd column of this index. So it's just about knowing those 3 pieces. What is the reference point that we're looking for? How many rows are we offset by, and how many columns are we offset by? Now we could effectively just return that particular number by looking in a single column and ignoring the column part of the equation. So I could return, let's say, Asia Pac and clothing, and I could make it a little smaller. So when I say make it a little smaller, I mean the reference point. So we put our cursor in H2 and we'll do a second example, and we won't have the large range and we'll ignore the column part of the reference. So we'll just go equals index tab, and our index this time will be a bit smaller. So we'll just have that small little area there, and we'll say comma. Now we want Asia Pac and clothing. Asia Pac and clothing. So we don't need the column reference at the top because we're looking at an index that's just 1 column deep. So we just say, oh, okay, we want the 2nd row. So we type 2 and press enter, and we want 47 to magically appear. Enter, bang, 47. Now, that's a very simplistic version of what the index formula is. I'll do another video on index and match. All right, everyone, have a great day. Take care.